You guys know that you can flip things in a pan by just flipping the pan? You've been using a can opener wrong this whole time, dude. It doesn't go sideways. It's supposed to go flat like this. And then you twist it along this way. Okay, so I just did the whole thing the flat way, and look, the can opens the correct way without having to dig your fingers around in there. If you want to quickly stop a pot of water from boiling over, just put a wooden spoon on top of it. This works because the wood is hydrophobic, which means that it can't absorb the water, and instead it just punctures the surface tension of the bubbles. Dude, I feel so nauseous. Here, try smelling this. What the fuck is this? Rubbing alcohol? Still feel nauseous? Actually, no. Thanks. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Oh shit, start humming. What? Bitch! I don't have to throw up anymore. My nose won't stop running. Easy trick to clear your sinuses is hold your tongue to the roof of your mouth and then press your thumb to your forehead for like 20 seconds. Okay. Did it work though? Dude, you know too much. My dad was a beekeeper, so here are some of the honey hacks that I know. Next time you get a pimple, take some raw, unfiltered honey and put it on it and then cover it with a Band-Aid overnight. By the time you wake up, it'll be completely gone. And if you do this honey mask consistently, if you have any acne scars, those will start to disappear too. If you want to take care of some split ends, you can put a little bit of honey on them or a mixture of honey, coconut oil, honey, olive oil. Put it on the split ends. You'll wake up in the morning, they'll be so smooth and moisturized. A little bit of honey can also be a cure for some chapped lips and make it easier. I haven't tried it, that's just what I've heard. If you ever have to measure out honey, put some oil inside the measuring cup. That way when you put the honey in, it won't stick to it and it'll just fall right out. Honey doesn't go bad, so if it ever hardens up on you, just put it in some boiling water, it'll soften right up. Here's some things that airports don't tell you, but they probably should. Over 70% of crashes are survivable, but the reason they say that most people don't is because they don't dress to egress, meaning closed-toed shoes and non-synthetic clothing to be able to survive while waiting for rescue. You should drink a lot of water before getting on the plane because it's pressurized at a higher altitude than sea level, which is going to make you dehydrated, which, yes, means alcohol will affect you more. If you forget your phone charger, don't buy one at the airport, they're overpriced. Instead, ask somebody at the check-in counter. They usually have this big box of extras and they'll give you one if you're nice about it. The little church inside of an airport is a great place to get some sleep. Yes, the plane gives you the option to recline your seat back about a ½ an inch, and it is totally within your right to use it. You know, get comfortable, but it is the quickest way to make sure that the person sitting behind you is your arch nemesis for life. Did you know that the color of your bed sheets can actually make or break the quality of sleep that you're getting? Some of the worst colors you can put in your bedroom are red because it's a danger signal, it brings out a lot of energy, purple because of its intensity and making people want to be creative, and brown because it's kind of gloomy and isolating. Some middle of the ground colors would be orange because it's kind of like brown but more bright and exciting. Black can be okay if you do it right, but it can also bring up a lot of negative emotions like fear, anger, and sadness. Same thing with white. In a hotel it can be really nice, but in your own home it can come off as really harsh and sterile and kind of uninviting. Beige is a good trade-off because it's still simple but gives off a little bit more peace and warmth. By far the best colors you can put into your room to improve your sleep would be a light pink because it's known to be gentle and improve your mood, green because it's a very natural, tranquil color, you know, organic vibes, and blue is regarded as the #1 best color for sleep. I'm getting very calm, stable, trustworthy feelings from these sheets. After reading all that, my insomnia is making a whole lot of sense. I asked, is it appropriate to hit your kids as punishment? The people who weren't hit as kids made it pretty clear that no, it's not appropriate. I am worried for that 5% here, but it's the people who were hit as kids that seem a little bit more divided on the subject. And I just wanted to test something because this felt weird. I asked people if it's appropriate to hit their pets as punishment, and what do you know? 86% of people agree that that is not right. Everybody else probably shouldn't have a pet. I'm just confused why we can all agree that it's not okay to hit pets, but there's still this big chunk of people that think it's okay to hit kids, when they're the ones that can understand language and reasoning. I don't get it. Let me know what you think, because I'm curious. I even asked if it's appropriate to hit adults as punishment. The majority of people said no. What is going on? If you're feeling like you hate yourself, take a shower. If you're feeling like you hate everyone, try eating something. If you feel like everyone hates you, get some sleep. And if you're feeling like everyone hates everyone, put down the phone and go outside. Here's some toys from your childhood that got banned. The Harry Potter Nimbus 2000 broomstick was an all too magical piece of plastic that vibrated to simulate flying. Some of the actual reviews read, "I'm surprised how long my daughter can just sit in her room riding this broomstick. The only problem my son has with this is how quickly the batteries run out. Even my 17-year-old daughter likes this thing." After Toys R Us took these off the shelves, a lot of sex shops started selling them. Colossal water balls. They're like Orbeez, but bigger. These things looked and felt like candy, so it's no surprise that kids just started eating them. When they went to the hospital due to dehydration, doctors couldn't see these things on x-rays, so they had to go through surgery and a lot of kids died. The Hannah Montana Pop Star card game. This game, and many other Hannah Montana merchandise were recalled due to the fact that they were covered in lead, about 75% more than the recommended safety level. If you regularly have to leave your house, like for work or something, okay, leave treats around before you go. That way your cat isn't anxious for you to leave. They're more excited for the little treasure hunt. Cats love boxes because it makes them feel safe. They have this idea that they can see everything, but nobody can see them. Even if that box isn't real. Cat hierarchy is simple. If they regularly place themselves above you, they think they're in charge. You should really read up on cat body language because their way of showing affection or anxiety is completely different than other pets. So like if they knead on you or rub their faces on you, that's their way of showing affection. Or if they like slow blink at you while maintaining eye contact, that's their way of giving you a kiss. And if you do it back, they might just do it again. Reason just... Cats don't see the person that feeds them as their owner. They just see them as the feeder. So if you want your cat to see you as the owner, you have to train them. The issue is, humans can be trained just as easily, and the cat usually wins. So I was curious about which country has the happiest people, and it turns out that the World Population Review actually keeps track of this. In last place, we have Afghanistan, with an overall happiness rating of a 2.5 out of 10. And then we have countries like Zimbabwe, Yemen, and India with scores around 3.1 to 3.8. The United States is in 19th place with a 6.9 out of 10. I feel like we have Stockholm Syndrome or something. The UK is in 17th place with a 7.06, followed by Costa Rica. In 15th place, we have Ireland, Canada, Germany, and Australia, and they're all in the 7.1 to 7.18 range. Austria is in 10th place with a 7.2. And the top 5 happiest countries are the Netherlands, Iceland, Switzerland, Denmark, and in first place is Finland with a 7.8. And they say they're happy because they're free, have mutual trust, high wages, and their government isn't corrupt. If you have a jar that is stuck, okay, I've given you guys a lot of different hacks to try and get this off, but if none of them seem to work for whatever reason, you can take a bottle opener, pop it off. A razor is gonna last like 5 to 7 shaves before the blades get dull and you need to replace it. But you can make it last like 5 times longer by just making sure you wipe out any of the hair that's in it and then having it soak in baby oil. If you have a visible hickey, first of all, smack the shit out of whoever did that to you. We're not in middle school anymore. Unless you are, then whatever. But if you don't want somebody to see this hickey, take a whisk and swirl it around on your skin for about 5 to 10 minutes. It's gonna break up all the blood that's stuck there on the surface and the bruise will go away. If your dog ever gets out of the house and starts running away, instead of chasing it, you should run in the opposite direction to get them to chase you instead. Dogs don't understand the concept of a mistake. So if you ever accidentally like step on their paw, they just think you did it on purpose. Hello. If your dog ever initiates contact with you by like resting their head on you, placing their paw on you, bumping into you, it's a sign that they love you and they're happy. And I really do think more dog owners should read up about dog body language because like yawning doesn't mean they're tired. It's an anxiety sign. Same thing if you like start petting them and they lick their lips. They don't want to be pet, or if they shake, they're stressed out. When dogs start going deaf, they don't understand that they can't hear anymore. They just think you stopped talking to them. Here are some of my favorite psychology tricks that I know work because I use them. If somebody's feet are pointed towards you in a conversation, that means that they're interested and content in the conversation. But if they're pointed away, not so much. And you can use this in a big group to tell who likes who. If you're talking to somebody who's known to lie and manipulate, you can get them to not do that to you by instead of making eye contact, just stare at their forehead slightly above their eye line. This is going to make them uncomfortable and subconsciously intimidated. If somebody is just being an asshole to you, try to remain calm and silent for at least 4 to 5 seconds before responding, because their brain is going to perceive that silence as rejection and they're going to dig themselves into a deeper hole by being unnecessarily upset. If you're playing games or a sport against somebody, ask them how they're playing so well. This is going to get them to think about it, out of their flow zone, and they're going to play worse. One way to get somebody to like you is to get them to do small favors for you, and the easiest way to do that is by adding real quick to the end of the question, like, hey, can you kiss me really quick? As somebody who has 11 siblings, here are some of the best parenting hacks I know. Learn to say thank you when they do something good, and I'm sorry when you eventually make a mistake. I promise you, you're gonna gain a whole lot more respect from them than the whole I'm the parent, you're the child routine. Take a Sharpie and write your phone number on the inside of their shoe. That way, if they ever get lost, somebody has a way to contact you. If you're taking them to someplace like a water park where they're not gonna be wearing shoes, get like a temporary tattoo with your phone number instead. Experiences are better than things. Be careful with your phrasing. If you ask your kid if they want a hot dog for dinner, they have the option to say no. Instead, ask them what they want on their hot dog for dinner, giving them the illusion of choice. Tell your kid right from the start that if they don't brush their teeth well enough, they're gonna fall out. That way, when their baby teeth start coming out, you'd be like, well, you just didn't brush good enough. They're gonna take care of those adult teeth. Did you know that the way you sleep can tell a lot about your personality? The fetal position. Many people, including myself, sleep this way because it offers a sense of safety. Those who favor curling up like a baby tend to be really sensitive but project a tough exterior. The log. Sleep specialists say that if this is your favorite way to sleep, you're probably really easygoing, social, and relatively trusting of others. The yearner. This is similar to log sleepers in the sense that you have a really open nature, but you're more cynical and not as gullible. The soldier. If you sleep on your back with your arms to your sides, you're more likely to wake up refreshed. You hold yourself to high standards, and when asked, you probably say that you sleep this way due to medical benefits. Except your snoring probably annoys people. The free faller. This is the worst position to sleep in, but if you prefer it, you're more likely bold and highly sociable, but you don't have the thickest skin when it comes to taking criticism. The starfish. You're known to be more selfless, even though everybody kind of thinks you're a bed hog. The pillow hugger. You like to be cozy and cuddle, and you hold high value to close personal bonds, and you cherish your relationships over everything else. The thinker. If you sleep on your side with one hand under your chin so it looks like you're lost in contemplative thoughts, it signals that you have high emotions. You live life on an emotional roller coaster, and it keeps the people around you on their toes. The stargazer. This is one of the least popular sleeping positions because it's one of the most vulnerable. If you sleep like this, you're really happy, easygoing, and sure of who you are. Fully covered. If you sleep completely under the blankets 100% of the time, you're afraid of taking risks and getting hurt. 1 foot out. People who sleep like this want one thing and one thing only, and that's comfort in all aspects of their life. Head over the edge. This sleeping position is tied with people who want to escape their day-to-day life and desperately want change. It also causes a lot of headaches.